Alright, my nigga. I'm about to take you through a quick tutorial. Show you some shit you're gonna need to know. This is like the opening page of Studio One right here. Um, so this is pretty much what you'll see when you get ready to you know, when you first open it up. Right? So now my view, I usually leave it on recent files. You won't have none of these, but so see, there go all my shit, right? So here's where you would go. You would go create a new song. Boom. Me, I like to use, just to keep it simple, I select multi-track recording. Set all your settings. Most of this you're going to leave the same. Song length, you can mess with that if you want to, but you can always move the start and end point, in which I'll show you. And then your tempo, if you know the tempo, you can set it here and get that out the way. Alright, you click OK. We're going to assume that I did that, right? And then this is what it looks like. Alright, now when you first started out, you only had 8 tracks. I added one because I'm going to put an audio track on here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So all I did was go here, track, boom, stereo. Since, what I mean, we dropping the beat in, right? Boom. And then that's going to add one track. If I want to do mono, if I want to do multiples, I could just press the T button. You know what I'm saying? Which is what this is over here. It's telling you just hit T and then it do the same thing. And then that adds like 4 tracks at a time. Okay. So now that we got all of the tracks, oh, and then you can change the color of the track to designate what's what. You just click here, right? You want to move a track, you highlight it, grab it at the bottom, move it. Feel me? Move it up, move it down. All right? Simple. So the main 2 words to remember in this tutorial is drag and drop. Okay? Because that's pretty much how everything works in this program. All right? So now, I got a little bit of a sound recording here. We're going to mess with that in a minute. I want to show you some things up here. This is your pretty much your general tool for selection. You know what I'm saying? Allows you to grab, you know, highlight some shit. If I want to move it up here, if I want to move it back down here, right? This is a neat little trick, something you definitely gonna want to know. You see how the fingertip is when I point the cursor to the top of the wave, to the top of the file. See how it turns to a fingertip? Now if I click that and drag it upwards, watch what happens. Oh shit, I'm increasing the decibels just like that. You know what I'm saying? You can bring it up, you can bring it down, and it shows you what decibel level that you at. Right? So that's just some cool, not cool shit, some necessary shit that you need to know. Alright. Another cool thing is as far as if you need to cut some, you ain't gotta right click, all of that. Here's your knife tool, right? So if I'm trying to cut some shit, boom, you can just select, you go right to it, and then you just slice that shit. Boom, boom. Okay. Let's say you need to get in a little closer. So we need to zoom in. So you come down here. Here's your zoom. Roll your mouse over it, and everything gets bigger, right? You can do the same thing up here. You got to put the cursor up above, like in the time frame section here, and everything gets bigger or smaller, right? That's probably the easiest way to do it is up here, right? So that's just some simple shit. What else? What else? What else? All right, so here's your zoom down here. Here's your play, record, of course. Here's playback from the beginning. Here's play from a certain marker. Now, the markers is important. How do you create a marker? Right? The marker is just where you want the shit to start from. So like, let's say we want to make one right here where this line is. You hit Alt on your keyboard, Alt and O. You see that green thing that just appeared there? That's a marker. So now it's finna start from that point whenever I start it. You feel me? And then when I want to move the marker, I just move it. And then it'll start from there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you kind of keep your place. Um, I want to bring your attention over here. A couple things that's really important. It's going to be really important for you because you're a producer over here. Your tempo. Here's where you can set your tempo at any given time. You just click, type in the new tempo, and you good, right? Over here, this window, you got three options down here. It says edit, mix, and browse. Okay, see that? Edit, mix, browse. Right? When I click edit, boom, that zooms like in on. So if I'm just trying to really pay attention to this particular section, you feel me? All right. If I click mix, that brings up my channels. Right? Now you can see all of your tracks, all of your inputs and outputs, your master track over here. Right? Now if you click browse, that makes that disappear. Okay, so there's your master track. I click browse again, it comes back. Hey, what was that? This section here is where all your goodies are. Instruments. Okay, then you click the drop down menu. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Drop down menus. Note effects. Boom. All these different ones. Drop down menu. Presonus. Mod Tasi. I don't know nothing about none of this stuff, right? But it's in here. Okay. Rewire. You might not have this. This is some extra shit that I got. Effects. This is where your mixing tools are at. Your effects chains. Look, default for drums, guitar, instruments, mastering, right? All these is different. Now they're not just one preset, right, or one plugin. These are a group of plugins. Like, see, if I click this drop down, then it shows you what plugins are included within this set, right? EQ, here's your tri-comp, that's your compressor. That's a triple compressor. Multi-band dynamics, there's your limiter. You know what I'm saying? The shit is all right here. Easy does it. That's got EQ in there, the dynamics, and the spectrum maker. Now, um, when you want to access any of this stuff, all you do, and I'll show you in a minute, is click, is grab it and drag it. Okay, we're not using none of the mastering effects, so I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna click this. Boom. Vocals. We fucking with vocals, right? So let's say I want to put a dreamy effect on this shit. In order to, and that shows you what uh, plugins you're about to lay on the track, and then this is all you do to put them onto a track. You can drag it here, right to the vocal, right? See what I'm doing? I'm just dragging it from here. Boom, I put it right onto the track. When I put it onto the track, my plugins open up. Oh shit, there they go. There's my compressor. Boom, number two, there's my EQ. There's the reverb. There's the delay. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? So the shit is already pre-laid out for you. You know what I mean? And then you fuck with the compressor. This is a good compressor right here too. Don't be afraid to fuck with this. That tri-comp. That shit is definitely good. Not only can you drag it to the track here, but it also appears in the track here. Now, you click this arrow down here, that expands your shit. That shows you all your plugins. You click it again, that minimizes. Right? This is where all my plugins are at on track number 1. Okay. If I wanted to, I could have just drug them straight over here to this track. You know what I'm saying? I can drag them to this track, drag them to that track. Doesn't really matter. So you can drag them to the actual screen, or you can drag it to the channel that you want it to go to. Now, this is going to be something important when you're doing when you first trying to record. Okay, your inputs. You double click up here, right? You see how this says mic line 1, mic line 2, mono. That's not what you want. All of these inputs, input 1 through 8, you want that all to be the same input. So we're going to go to audio in out setup. Okay, this is real simple. Right, see, it recognizes up here, it recognizes my Apollo Twin. It's going to recognize your PreSonus, you know what I'm saying, which is mic line 1. Okay, so now we're just going to switch all the rest of these tracks to mic line 1. Boom, 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 and so forth. So when we done, we click make default. It never makes it the default. Say yes, it doesn't matter. Hit OK, hit apply, hit OK. Now, whenever you change this track from this track to this track, this track to this track, you're going to always see how I got levels coming through every time. That's because they all on the same input now. And the input that's selected is input number 1, which is where my preamp and the microphone is. So, I mean, this is just the basics of the shit, you know what I'm saying? But that's really all the fuck that it is to it, bro. This shit is easy. This shit is easy as fuck, but it's powerful and it puts out good sound. So when you editing, you trying to do some editing shit, you need to get closer and do it like that, or you can go here. Bing. Now I'm all in it. You know what I'm saying? What am I trying to do? Whatever it is. You feel me? Um, that's pretty much all that I got, man. That's pretty much all that it is to show you. You know what I'm saying? Select your tracks. You do your, voiceovers and shit. And this shit up here, I don't fuck with too much of these. I don't fuck with these too much. The mute tool and the bend tool, I don't fuck with that too much. I use this. I don't even use the paint tool. I use the cutter. I use the selectors. I don't even use the erase. You know what I'm saying? I just cut that shit. Boop. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to get rid of, say like I'm trying to get rid of this, I just cut that shit. Or I just highlight that shit. You know what I mean? Whatever. Select that shit and delete it. But you'll find your own flow. You know what I'm saying? And how you want to do things. Um, see, that's just another side view of your tracks over there. Options. Some of this stuff I'm still learning. I'm still kind of going through. So, um, parameters. I don't know what that is. But here's your quantize up here. 1/16, one whatever, right? So it's got all these different quantization options. You're gonna have a lot of fun with this shit, man. I know you're gonna figure it out. But that's the basics. Oh, and then if you need to drag, so okay, let's do this because this is something simple. We need a beat. So if I need a beat, let's say this is my beat over here. I'm just dragging and dropping. That's it. Bing, bing, over with. Right? Oh, last thing. You're done with your recording. You're done with everything. You're ready to bounce it down. You go here. Song. Export mix down. Here you can select whether you want it to be an MP3 file, a WAV file, whatever. Right? You name your mix. You can set it from the start and end marker, or between a specific loop. That's the one thing that drawing thing is good for. You use and I'll show you, you know. Um, and then when you got everything set how you want it, you click OK, and then it just bounced that shit down. It only takes a few seconds. All right. See when I click take the mouse way up here, and then I get the pen thing. This is if I'm drawing a loop, right? And then you just drag out however far you want your loop to be, like that, right? Loop enable, loop active, right? Marker 1, marker 2, start end. Now, some other shit real quick. End. Sometimes you gotta move the end of your song up, right? Scoot that shit up. And then if you gotta, zoom in a little bit to get it right up to it, and then that's all you doing. You just dragging that. Same thing on the other side. Right? Boom. So start and end. So now if I'm bouncing down and I tell it to bounce down from start to end, it's only gonna bounce down from there to there. It's gonna leave all of this out. But, just showing you how to do this shit real quick. So that's it, man. In a nutshell, I think you're gonna be good.